Alright, welcome back to Dreadpathzone. It has been a long couple days because I went to Adepticon, as you've probably heard on various outlets of social media and podcasts and all that stuff. It was a lot of games. I played in basically every tournament I possibly could, plus a couple extra things, and I wouldn't have it any other way. It was so fun. Yes, it was a marathon, but it was well worth it just to meet all the different like social groups that you get along the way. Because the Kings of War guys, they don't always interact with all the Dead Zone guys, and all the Dead Zone guys interact with all the Dreadball guys, and it was just fun to just mix all the circles and just become friends with all these people. Adepticon was awesome. This year, the vendor hall and stuff didn't impress me nearly as much as it did last year, and I think that was kind of the general consensus with our whole group. I'm sure we're going to go into more depth of coverage on various podcasts and streams and I don't know what else, but these are just my quick little thoughts about Adepticon. It was very fun, very cool to meet some people. I've been dying to meet a lot of them. It's just fun to just play all these games. So let me just run you through my schedule of all the things I did. I played in the jet bike races, and I got second place in the first heat, which the first heat was just super fun. It was like Jeff Burbage, Sue Foreman, myself, Brian, and Rick Hall, and it was just a blast. It was just wacky, crazy antics, people bouncing off walls, people shooting each other, kicking each other, sliding, drifting. Oh, yeah. Jet bike races is super fun. I'd love to play more of that. I mean, I have all the stuff that I need to be able to play it. I just need to just make the effort and get some people to play some beer and pretzels games. So, yeah. So that's the first thing I did, is I got second place in that. So then I got to go to the next heat, which I wasn't expecting. I'm just there to roll dice, honestly. And so the second heat, I got fourth place. Everyone else did way better. I didn't expect anything, but they gave me an MDF terrain thing for that, for fourth place. Let me show you that, actually. Yeah, somehow I won this MDF old school, I don't know, it's like an old apartment or something. But yeah, it's like a brick building with lots of windows, and I don't know. Wasn't expecting it. I didn't even know what it was until I built it at home. So yeah, that was fun. More terrain's never a bad thing, right? Anyways, then the real event started. Because I consider jet bike races more of like a mini game, because it is. But let's see. Then I played in the Dreadball tournament. The Dreadball tournament was super, super fun. Dreadball is just such a great game, and it got so much better with the second edition. It's just so clean and fast and furious, and so few times you have to look up rules. And actually, I don't think we looked up any rules. If we had any questions, just like, hey, how does this work? And they go, oh yeah, that's how. And it was like, that's it. It was, man, it was fun. So I brought my Matadon, as you might have seen on my showcase video. They perform pretty well. They are slow, and that came to my hindrance a couple times, notably against Jeff. I had one horrible rush where I rolled 4 dice to get 1 5 up. My guy fell on his face, scattered the ball, and then I tried to re-roll it too. I threw a card at it, so I rolled 5 dice and didn't get a single 5 up, so yeah. So anyways, I had a blast in every one of those games. A lot of them were like push, pull, back, forth. Yeah, Jeff landslided me, but at the same time, I'd killed every one of his guys, and if he didn't score right there, things would have been very difficult for him to win that game, because nobody was left standing. Everyone was holding onto their sides and rocking in the fetal position. But it was a super fun time. I did not place in Dreadball, nor would I expect to. I rarely play it, but it's just super fun. I mean, I can't stress how fun Dreadball is. Let's see. So that was on Thursday. We finally got to reunite with the New York crew who got delayed. We got to reunite. That was fun. We got to meet with Jack and Rob from the Dead Zone podcast, kind of the core group of friends. So it was nice to catch up with them. We got breakfast on Friday, and Friday's our long day. That was the day with Dead Zone and with Firefight in the same day. And so that was a blast. We got to play 4 games of Dead Zone. My first one I recorded. It's with Jesse Cornwell, and it should be up right about now. So check it out if you'd like. It was a fun, entertaining game, back and forth. The rest of the tournament went really well. I went 3-0-1 because I tied Coach. That's some crap, man. I wiped out his whole team, but he had some crazy lucky dice rolls where he killed the 10-point objective thing and tied it up. So that was a really fun game, really close in terms of if I could table him before he did that, but I couldn't. So it's a really fun game. I ended up in 3rd place for Dead Zone, which I'm very happy with. Which is strange because I actually beat 2nd place. It was John Carter, who still, I mean, he had a great tournament. He did such a good job. And I barely eked out a victory. And had it gone one more turn, I would not have. So, yeah, he got 2nd place, and then Adam got 1st place. I think Best Painted went to Joe Neat, and Sports went to Jesse. So, yeah, it was a really great event. Smoothly run. In terms of like the actual gameplay, some of the actual tournament organizing could have been a little cleaned up. Some of it got a little confusing, and the paint scoring thing was kind of tacked on. I felt like it could have been more official, I guess. But it was a really fun event. That was my favorite tournament because that's my game. Dead Zone is my game. I love it. My Plague performed very well. Some of those missions just really catered to my list, and I was just able to do things easily and efficiently, and really, really great tournament. I'm happy with 3rd place, got another medal, and I got a Sergeant Hallett, which is cool. He's a new trophy for that, so pretty exciting stuff. Next up is the Firefight. Firefight was I'm going to make a separate video about Firefight, mostly so the rules community guys can see it and just so we can get some more feedback going. That way it can be dedicated to that. But the Firefight tournament was fun. A lot of beginners, a lot of people who haven't played a lot, myself included. I haven't played that much Firefight. But, wow. As you can see, I lost my voice at Adepticon, constantly talking, because that's what you do. So yeah, Firefight. Some of the things were a little clunky, mostly regarding the missions. I'll talk more in the separate dedicated video. But it was a fun event. Anytime you get to just roll dice and put your toys on the table, I have a good time with it. It was a very lax environment. No one was really out for blood, really. I mean, some people had some really competitive lists for sure. But for the most part, people just wanted to put their toys on the table and have fun. There's a few things that we noticed are kind of a little too powerful or not powerful enough, or just some rebalancing. And because everyone's so new, a lot of people had rule books out the whole time and were checking things. So that event was really fun, but it could have been. I mean, it's the first edition of a game, and it kind of felt like it. So I was pleased with the turnout for sure. We had a good amount of people, which I was very impressed by. Everyone had a painted army, which is also really neat. And speaking of painted, I actually won the Firefight Best Painted Army with my Veerman, and I am very shocked and very happy with that. I was certainly not expecting that to happen, and I'm very happy that some of my hard work ended up with the trophy. Basically, I was really happy with the way the whole army looked together, and I think it kind of came across. It really helped that the tournament judging was Mantic models only, because had it not been, I think there were some other ones that definitely had the upper hand in terms of just best painted. But you know what? It's a Mantic event, and if you have all Mantic armies, you're already in the running. So I was pretty happy by winning that. Check out my showcase if you want to see what was in it. And that brings us to Kings of War. So this is my first Kings of War tournament, my first GT. This was very cool. It was, again, like I said, you get in another group of friends, you get to start meeting different people. The armies were just so gorgeous and gives you ideas for lists and things like that. And first round I played Jesse again, except this is his universe. and he beat me pretty handily. I mean, it was still a really fun game, but there was just some things I learned a lot in that game. He's a great teacher and was not afraid to still play really competitively, but also teach me what I was doing wrong, or things that would help my gameplay. And that actually really helped ripple through the tournament, because I somehow, don't know how, I actually went 3-3 in this tournament, and I'm very happy with it. I ended up like 19th out of 26 or something, so my goal for that tournament was just to win one game, so I was really happy just to eke out one victory. But to get 3, I'm ecstatic. I couldn't be happier with that, especially because Kings of War is so competitive and so tight, and I'm just really happy with the way that tournament ran. Mike Carter did a great job at running the event, and things went smoothly. Things started on time. It's just a really fun thing, and plus it's 6 games, so it's just really great. So we played 4 on Saturday and then 2 on Sunday, and it was just excellent. So really happy with the way all that turned out too. I definitely need to tweak my list a little bit. There's some things that are not exactly what I was looking for, or like they didn't quite perform the way I wanted them to or needed them to. But overall, Jesse gave me lots of tips on how to play the objective correctly, because he got 2nd place in this, so he did a great job at kind of telling me how to play my ogres and what to focus on, what not to. It was great to have like kind of a coach through this tournament who could be like, all right, so this is loot. Focus on 2 counters. Don't even think about the 3rd one. You're not going to get to it. Just focus on the 2. Like just stuff like that. It's just really cool. Let's see. That brings us to Mantic Open Night. Open Night was, of course, the press conference with Ronnie, and I finally got to meet Ronnie, which was cool. Press conference, I'm sure, will be on Family Gamers. They filmed the whole thing. Check it out. There's some tasty treats in there in terms of info. Got to see some exclusive stuff that I can't talk about. That was cool too. But the real highlight for me at Mantic Open Night was playing Dreadball Ultimate, because Dreadball Ultimate is just a mad dash of, 6 players, 2 balls, just laughs and drink tokens, and oh man, it's so fun. And it was great to play with Lee, Andrew, Jeff, John, and Dean, plus myself. And we got to play with all of Jeff's beautifully painted and magnetized awesome miniatures. It's just, if you ever get a chance to play full-on Dreadball Ultimate, you need to do it, because it's a total blast, and it's wacky and zany and fun, and you can make some crazy cool plays, and you get to crump some people. Oh, I just have nothing but great things to say about Mantic Open Night. Just getting to interact with everyone, but Dreadball Ultimate for sure was my favorite thing. And then this part may or may not be on record. Our whole crew may or may not have stayed up all night, and by all night I mean like till 4 o'clock in the morning, drinking whiskeys and beers with the Mantic guys, with the Pathfinders and Ronnie and Martin, and that may or may not have happened, and I may or may not have had to wake up really early for the Kings of War in the morning, and that may or may not have been a struggle. But it was a great time. I wouldn't have that any other way. We stayed up just talking about random businesses and our favorite games that Mantic produces, like, and why. And it was just a really great conversation. It was just super fun to have everyone kind of just came together, and I mean, that was one of the biggest highlights of the whole Adepticon, just everyone hanging out, and yeah, so, and Hellboy was floating around there, and yeah, it was a crazy good time. So the next morning I had to wake up for Kings of War, and that was a little rough. Not so much like hangover rough, just I got like 2 hours of sleep kind of rough. But Kings of War, I had those 2 games that day. Those were another 2 games that I really enjoyed. I won one of them and lost the other against Holy Diver. And then, again, I got to just make lots of friends, and that's all I can hope for in these things. So that's pretty much where my Adepticon wraps up. Later that night, the whole New York crew and the Dead Zone podcast guys, we all went out for Chicago deep dish pizza. There's nothing quite like that in the whole world. It's so amazing. It's just, yeah, the deep dish is truly what makes it. The crust stays crispy at the bottom. I'm getting sidetracked and hungry. Great time, and that's kind of what wrapped up the Adepticon. Then it was basically just packing and watching competitive cornhole on ESPN2, which is far more entertaining than you expect. And that pretty much wrapped up the Adepticon. It was a great time, safe flights home and all that stuff, blah, blah, blah. But overall, this experience was very different from my first one. The first one, I was like in awe of all the stuff. This time I was expecting the stuff, like in the vendor hall and whatnot, but nothing truly caught my eye except for that Parabellum. It's like an Italian company, but when I looked up the rules for the game, it plays a lot like Kings of War, but the models are awesome. I might have to get some, but that's not here nor there. A very different experience for me this year. Lots of tournaments, lots of dice rolling, lots of talking. My voice is like, dude, stop talking. Lots of new friends, lots of old friends. Fantastic time. If you've never been to an Adepticon, I highly recommend it. Super fun time, lots of cool people. You'll find your group of friends or multiple groups of friends to just hang out with and check things out with, and do it if you can. Thank you for listening this whole time. I'm sure it got kind of rambly because that's, what I do. I don't expect anyone to sit all the way through this, but if you did, you the man, or whoa man. That was weird. I'm making it weird now. I'm going to cut it off here before I keep talking too much. But, just kidding, I already did talk too much. Anyways, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, check out that battle report with me and Jesse, and I will talk to you guys later. Goodbye.